Today we will be talking a little bit about our Flexbone offense, just a little intro, our overall philosophy, and then we will go over positions and descriptions that we are looking for in each of those positions. So first, just a little bit about myself. I'm Bo Berkheisen. I'm the offensive coordinator at Turner High School here in Kansas City, Kansas. We just finished my second year at offensive coordinator, the 2025 season. This is my seventh overall. My coaching stops are there below. Spent the first 5 years as a position coach before I moved up as ROC. So here's kind of what we're looking at prior to taking over as offensive coordinator and where we currently are. Slowly getting better. But have made obviously some huge strides. Okay, so we do run the Flexbone. Our main thing is just being able to attack every gap within the defense. So we want, our triple options to hit A gap and C gap and attack the alley. We want zone dive and belly to hit between the tackles. We want jet and rocket to hit outside, and obviously we have our boot, our play action, and everything off of all of those runs. Our overall philosophy for the offense is just to create a certain level of physicality. We love violence from our five guys up front. We love to fire out low and as fast as we can, like we're getting out of the blocks on the track. A lot of downhill running, and our goal going into every game is to make the defense quit, make them tap out of the game. So we'll go ahead and get into our positions, starting with our quarterback. When we look at who we want to play quarterback, they have to be the smartest, toughest, and most coachable kid on the team. Especially for a kid that may have never played quarterback in the Flexbone offense before, they have to be coachable. They have to understand that you're going to make a lot of mistakes early on, but, we just got to learn from them and keep growing and become that smart, tough, best decision maker for the team. Our B-back, we like to think of him as our bruiser, just being able to handle the bulk of the carries between the tackles, and skilled enough to block on the edge and pass pro and catch a ball in the flat on our boot series. Our slots, our L and our R, those guys are our Swiss Army knives of the offense, kind of the glue that makes this whole thing go round. We ask them to do a lot of things. Go in motion pre-snap, block a D-end, block a backer, block a defensive back, run the ball outside, be a pitch back, be a receiver. They kind of have to do everything. So when we look at who we want to play these positions, they have to have a solid comprehension of the playbook. They have to be able to get the play call, process everything quickly, and get to where they're supposed to be. Remember their tracks, remember all their steps, their aiming points, and just an overall smart kid. They got to be fast enough to, get the ball on the outside and make a guy miss and take it down to the end zone. And, they got to be tough enough to block those inside defenders that are hanging out in the box, especially when they're crashing as hard as they do from the backer and free safety spot. Once they see dive, we have to be able to climb up the second level and take on that block. Moving into our O-line, our center, we can afford for this guy to be a little smaller, but he's got to be the smartest on the O-line. He has to be able to communicate with the rest of the O-line to know what front we're getting, where our combos are at, who's getting up to second level. He kind of has to know all five of those positions. He has to be skilled enough to get to the second level to those backers, and he has to be physical enough to handle a nose. We have a lot of good noses in our conference that we see, so you got to be able to take him on one-on-one. Our guards, we kind of like for them to be bigger bodies, really good footwork, strong enough, be able to get low enough athleticism to take on, a hard 3-tech, skilled enough to get up to second level, and they got to be able to pull. With some of the things that we do, they have to be able to pull front side, back side. So we like these guys to be our bigger body, more athletic O-linemen. Our tackles, this is also a spot you can afford to have kind of a smaller guy in. But main thing is they have to be quick off the line. If your tackle is the quickest off your line, you're going to be set up pretty good on triple, on zone dive, on belly, on anything that you may run where he's down blocking or getting up to that inside backer. You're going to be set up pretty well if he's quick out of his stance. And with that, his footwork has to be some of the best on the O-line. We ask all of our O-linemen to have really crisp, really detailed footwork every play, especially goes for the tackle. We'll jump out to our receivers, our X and our Z. These guys we like to be taller, those kind of taller, lengthier receivers. Really good blockers, one-on-one, out in space, and are skilled enough to win that one-on-one battle with a smaller corner. And lastly, our tight end. Our tight ends are going to be trained and coached just like our tackles. It's not going to be any different. We get a lot of guys who may not fit the criteria for a tackle, but have good ball skills and understand, how to high point the football and things like that. Those are kind of the guys that we put in our tight end spots. They can do the job that a tackle can, but they just have really good ball skills and are able to judge a ball really, really well. Anytime we throw the ball, it has to count. So that helps us out a lot. When we come back for our next video, we will talk through all of our formations. Thanks for tuning in and give us a follow.